So what do you want to do?
I don't know. We don't have an intro. Welcome everybody to the Glacier Gamble. This is episode 34 of our Marvel Entertainment section. Now we do have two sections. Feel free to check out the sports section if you do like sports. Otherwise, we got some movie stuff for you today. We have a fan request. We got a comment asking us to do Pirates of the Caribbean. So dug up all the information we could find on that. We're going to do a quick Pirates of the Caribbean at the end. Otherwise, we're going to start with Marvel. We got some Kraven news, Black Panther news, some potential Ironheart news, another quick follow-up on the Madam Web thing. Probably won't take long on that one. Then we got some miscellaneous news. Joe's famous. We got Buzz Lightyear trailer, Tom Holland news, Jurassic World, and yeah, that's it. That's really all we got for you today. Shouldn't be too long of an episode. Let's jump into the Marvel news, which is Kodi Smit-McPhee turned down the role of Chameleon in Kraven due to scheduling. I don't know too much about Kodi Smit-McPhee. He looked like he would fit the part, and Chameleon is a fun villain.
Yeah.
My question is
Kraven's brother, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. And he imitates other villains and heroes, like a Taskmaster, but without hiding, not just the combat.
Yeah, and not Taskmaster.
My question was, would we still get Chameleon, or did they, because they didn't get the guy that they specifically wanted, did they switch it?
A lot of people were, because I believe Chameleon's real name is Dimitri.
Yeah, Dimitri Krochlikniov.
Right. Sure. But there was a Dimitri in Far From Home, and a lot of people thought that was the tie. The bus driver that also worked for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Dmitry Smrdiakov. So I was close. Krochlikniov.
Yeah. So, yeah, everyone thought that was the dude that was in Far From Home, but he is just simply named Dimitri, so it could have just been a slight nod.
It's Marvel fans.
Could have been a slight nod. Could have been a scroll. Who knows?
Anything could be a scroll. It's Marvel fans. There could have been a D on the back, like on a poster, and they could have been like, that's Dimitri. The Chameleon guy's name is Dimitri. That D stands for Dimitri. The bus driver's Chameleon. Marvel fans, man. Oh, he's got a plushie of Nar. Nar is a League of Legends character. The person who voiced Vi in Arcane from League of Legends was Haley Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld is going to be voicing Nar in a live-action League of Legends movie. Like, that's Marvel fans. Like that.
That's us.
Well, that's
we
us.
Could be like that. Yeah, we could be like that. We try to keep it not like so obscure where it's like a super reach, but
right. I agree. Like, we try not to be those ridiculous people that the people that have to do that sort of thing are the people that put out daily Marvel videos for like, they only make Marvel content. It's only Marvel.
Have you heard about that crazy theory? What's that theory?
What theory?
Dave? Guy's name's not even Dave, so you just know they're lying anyway. Like, it says, what's that theory, Dave? And then it goes back to this person, his name's like Steve.
Right. We don't want to be those guys, but that's the average Marvel theory person. We want to bring people stuff that's either been reported, genuine rumors, or like stuff that we've actually heard.
Yeah, our knowledge, too.
Like the Defender Strange theory. That was 100% us, but it's 100% plausible, and the more we hear about it, the more that's right.
Yeah. So
just saying there.
I don't see any like snipers on these balconies over here. Feige out there, like, take the shot.
Eventually we'll see that though. Like, my window is open to the ground level. It's like, because I'm in the basement. One of these days, Feige's just gonna come smashing through there and be like, "Stop it right now!" I'm like, "Okay, just put me in a movie. It's fine.
Let me voice act for the X-Men 90s thing.
Let me voice act for X-Men 97 or like the next What If series. I'll play.
Let me be a background.
Let me be an extra who dies.
let Scarlet Witch destroy me from the inside.
Let Paul Rudd come up my ass and blow me up from the inside.
Let me see how many rings fit on me. Not even one.
You got half of one and it just fell.
It slid off the front. Damn it.
I still think we will get Chameleon, maybe in a future project, or they're just going to go with somebody that's similar build. I don't know. It's a cool character that kind of needs to happen. So even though Kodi couldn't do it, I think they're going to do it anyway. It just came out that he admitted he turned down the role, which kind of broke the news that Chameleon's going to be in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Kraven and his backstory, you kind of need that.
Next piece of news we have is also Kraven, which is Russell Crowe has been cast in an unnamed role.
I assume he's obviously going to look different than Zeus, if that's who he's playing in Thor: Love and Thunder. I think he can also pull that rugged kind of tribal look off too.
Yeah.
So I think with Zeus, he'll probably have a lot of white hair, like silver hair.
It could be like a disguised human-looking Zeus, so more his natural hair color, like the dark, no robes, like basically Zeus in disguise. Or, you know, other actors have played different roles in Marvel, so maybe he's doing something not Zeus.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. So
right, Josh Brolin. You have different people that could play
Gemma Chan.
Different things. Yeah, Gemma Chan. So you got these people. So he might not be Zeus. If he is, that's a fun little connection to know, like, oh, somebody from Thor: Love and Thunder.
He was also Hercules, so
it'll be
Henry Cavill is Hercules.
That's one of the ones.
Yeah, he'd fit Hercules.
He'd be Hercules. He could be Captain Britain. He could be Hyperion.
Yeah.
He can pull off like the rugged look. And he can pull off clean shaven.
Yeah.
He can be ripped or he can be nerdy. His range of what he could be, it's really anything. Just try to hire Ken Cavill.
Yeah.
Just try. You know how like Mario thought hiring Chris Pratt would bring in 6 million people are going to come watch this because they love Chris Pratt. Well, if you hired Henry Cavill, you would genuinely bring people in, even that people that aren't Marvel fans, fans. They'd be like, oh, I want to watch this because he's great at everything he does and he's an awesome person. But yeah, that's all we got for Kraven news. Next is we got some Black Panther stuff that came out. Akosia Sabet will be the voice of the Panther god Bastet, which
I believe in the comics it was just
and he was male. Boston was male. This is Bastet will be female, which makes sense. ET is usually the female additive of a lot of different languages. Bastet makes sense. I think it's interesting that they're adding a god. That's in Thor: Love and Thunder. I've been saying Black Panther, but I think it's because I read the word Panther. But
Panther capitalized for some reason. Yeah, the god is Bastet, aka Boston.
But we'll be in Thor: Love and Thunder. And I think they're adding extra gods, and basically any god you hear added's probably gonna die. So the voice of Bastet, spoiler alert, Bastet's probably gonna get killed by Gore the God Butcher. Or is named Gore the God Butcher because his specialty is murdering the shit out of gods, which is why Thor is probably gonna die, which is why then Jane will take over as the new Thor. And
it's either it could be like and then Beta Ray Bill could get Stormbreaker. That's what I would like to see if they got the balls to do Beta Ray Bill.
I don't think they will. I think Marvel and Disney overall will do a lot to push female led.
They teased it though. I mean, they teased Beta Ray Bill. They teased Beta Ray Bill, Ares, Man Thing, and there's one other one.
Yeah.
One other one on the tower.
I just think anytime there's an opportunity to emphasize female leads, they will. I think Beta Ray Bill will kind of take away from it.
Maybe like a post-credit thing, maybe.
Yeah. Even though I know they said that Jane Foster will be coming back in her own like lead movie solo lead. Anyway, Bastet's probably going to die, but very cool for Akosia. That'll be a fun role to play, I'm sure. Voicing a god panther.
Right.
That's sick. The next piece of news we have is Anthony Ramos for Ironheart was cast and is expected to have a major role in Marvel going forward. They did not say what he is going to play. However, early speculation is he will be the Hood.
Yeah, because they said the Hood was going to be like going to debut in Ironheart. So like, I don't know.
But would the Hood be something they carried forward? Because he's going to be in.
Yeah.
Going forward, he'll be in multiple projects and be a big character.
I don't know. He could be someone playing one of those roles though. I don't know how many big roles outside of Ironheart are going to come out of Ironheart.
Well, the thing is the Hood, he's one of Daredevil's big competitions in the comics. He has his own series of comics, like the Hood issue 1, 2, like he has his own comics. He's part of Secret Invasion. He has things with Kingpin, Spider-Man, and Shocker. So, like, they could do a lot with the Hood. So it would be fine if they did.
Yeah, and they've introduced a lot of those characters recently, too. So.
Exactly. They introduced Kingpin, and the first crime he commits as the Hood is against Kingpin. And then the first hero he fights is Daredevil. Charlie Cox just said he'll be Daredevil for the next 10 years in Marvel at least. And he's been interviewed constantly up till No Way Home and now after No Way Home.
Yeah, he knew summer of 2020.
Yeah.
When he knew.
He's if they're gonna do such an emphasis on Charlie Cox, they're gonna want to have multiple villains to go through. The Hood is somebody that they could do. So they're already starting with Kingpin. I don't know. I think the Hood is plausible. It just makes me wonder: are they going to run the Hood? And the Hood also has a connection to Doctor Strange because the Hood is originally owned by Dormammu. So I think the Hood is very, very plausible, and it's a good choice because not only is he a big name and a good actor, another singer. I'll say it again. Opportunity for Marvel to pursue some singing. I think they could definitely move forward with him as the Hood in multiple things.
Another, just before we get to the last one, I saw a social media thing about essentially it was like, how is there street level crime in like New York City area? Like, how is there street level crime still in New York City? Because there are so many heroes to come out of New York City. Why are people still doing it? Like, outside of the cops, which are probably bought, like the cops are probably paid off, so you can't really count on them. But there's Spider-Man, there's all the Defenders, there's Punisher, there's more. Like, there's a run where Daredevil accidentally kills a guy, or like Daredevil kills a guy, and he goes to the Defenders and he's like, I killed someone. They're like, don't worry, we've all done it. You could be like selling like crack on the corner, and then all of a sudden some dude's coming up and punching you like with a iron fist, and all of a sudden your jaw's broken, you're through a window.
Well, and that was the thing, like Hawkeye, with the like all the stuff happening in the final episode, the tree, all that. The big complaint from a lot of people was like, how was there not a single cop until Kate Bishop's mom drives to the building and hits Kingpin? She's the only one arrested in the whole thing, and otherwise you don't see a single cop. It's like, well, Kingpin probably paid them off. Like, yeah, that's an easy cop out, but that's probably the most likely thing.
And I mean, you could say it right now. You could say like right now, sure, Kingpin came back. He's the first one to regain his dominance. And by the cops, you give it a couple years, and like if there's any street crime in like the New York City area, and you've got people like Punisher introduced, and Daredevil, and Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, that doesn't seem like it should happen, because one of these guys are gonna go in there and kill
all those people are trying to live normal lives.
Right.
They only do their superhero stuff when it's big.
Right.
Like Spider-Man's the only one that takes a little radio and tries to stop all crime.
I mean, you're not saying that the Netflix stuff is canon, but it kind of is, I guess. I mean, they had the same thing where Daredevil was trying to listen to it, and then Daredevil passed away, and then Iron Fist was listening to the radio.
Right.
So.
But you think of so many of the other New York ones. How many of them are sitting there trying to stop all crime? They only come in when, aliens are invading. Okay, now I'll help.
Like, in my opinion, my play would just be like, just pick a different city, man. Go somewhere else.
That's the issue, though, is when you want to have a global product like Marvel. If you don't say New York, like if you end up saying, Omaha, Nebraska, that somebody in China that's watching this movie has no idea what Omaha is. Right. They don't know where Nebraska is.
Go to Florida. They got some big names. Los Angeles, Texas.
You have to say like Orlando because people know what Disney World is. You have to say Chicago because people know what Chicago. You could say Minneapolis because it's one of the highest traveled global areas because of Mall of America. You could definitely say LA, Sacramento, probably not even Sacramento actually. San Francisco and LA are probably the only two California cities.
Yeah.
Can't really say Dallas or anything. That's not really that. Western movies are popular, so you might be able to say something like Dallas or Houston, but will they recognize? Will it be recognized? Yeah. Washington, D.C., New York, Chicago, LA, those are like the ones. Hollywood, it's difficult because you want them to do different cities, but they do those certain cities for marketing,
right?
And if somebody's watching in Turkey or Uzbekistan, they don't know what Denver, Colorado, they might not know what Boise, Idaho is,
right?
Even though that would be a good place to try because it's not New York. I don't know.
So now where all the heroes are at, I guess. So what I'm saying.
Well, there's a lot of radiation leaks in bigger cities, pollution. That's where they all get their powers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got to be there.
So they have to be in big cities. There's one last Marvel product, product news anyway, which we've covered a few times, so we won't go too big into it. But Dakota Johnson confirmed She is Madam Web. She posted on Instagram a picture of a spider and a spider web and said, I am happy to be the first female-led superhero for Sony.
Yeah, for the Sony universe of Marvel characters or whatever.
My issue is Madam Web's a villain. So
not in this world.
Not in this.
On the SUMC.
We talked about that. Is Sony, with all these products, they're not going to have any villain. Venom's an anti-hero. Madam Web's an anti-hero. Kraven. Rhino might getting his own.
Sandman.
If all these are anti-heroes, who's going to be your villain? None of these people can be part of the Sinister Six. The one spoiler for me, the one thing I wanted to pick out there, she said I'm the first hero. That confirms Madam Web's not a villain, which kind of confirms our whole, like, they're not going to be doing this person's a villain, shooting from the eye of a villain. What I've been wanting them to do is, like, have you root for a villain from the point of view of the villain, POV. We want the villain. I almost got you to
some Dakota Johnson POV is what you're saying?
Yeah, I searched Dakota Johnson POV Madam Web, and I was lost on the internet for 4 hours. I want to see it
in like 50 different colors too.
But actually, it was more like not 50, more than 50, but not quite 70. Like, so more than 68, but not quite 70. So I searched Dakota Johnson POV 69.
A lot of images.
I was lost on the internet for 4 hours and didn't find one thing about Madam Web being a hero. I don't know what they plan on doing. If all these anti-heroes, if they're going to do like a Scarlet Witch thing where they kind of become a villain for a little bit, but they'll eventually go back to the good side. I don't know what they plan on doing.
Morbius is an anti-hero. Like, he's part of the Midnight Suns.
It's going to be interesting. So did she mean to spoil that is my thing, or did she misspoke? Yeah, and she's actually she
misspoke.
She misspoken. Absolutely. Yeah. That'll be what we're hoping. So that's gonna be what we assume.
Unless it like goes into something like, I don't know, they somehow tied into Null. I guess I don't know how. But wait till we're still waiting for the Null movie where he's an anti-hero.
Well, Dakota Johnson, South Dakota, North Dakota. That's part of the United States. United States, America, Captain America, Captain Falcon is the new Captain America. Falcon and Madam Web are
Hawks.
Hawks
hunt spiders. Spiders make webs. Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
I can't do anything off Charlotte.
Damn it. We tried. Anyway, interested to see where they go there. That's it for Marvel news, though. Let's move on to miscellaneous news. Joe's famous.
League of Legends. We play League of Legends. League of Legends did a post saying if you could get rid of one champion in the game, who would it be and why? I could have been the smart person and said Teemo, but then someone responded with, I looked through the comments, and someone responded with, I'll make you a list. And they named 7 people. It was like Vayne, Fiora, Yumi, Morgana, Caitlyn. I don't know. And then the 7th person was Ezreal.
Yep.
So I responded with, you chose all females. And little did I know, about 2,200 likes later, here we are.
We've been wanting to post more on social media. Helps, build a following. People need to know our humor. If they want a reason to follow us, they have to get to know us. We've been playing League of Legends for a while. That's a season 1 meme right there. Most of those, 2,200 likes. Those are all people that found that funny. A lot of the replies, though.
Yeah, there's about 30 replies so far.
Most of them are pretty toxic as fuck. But yeah, they all said homophobic, canceled. Get better material, please. I'm begging you. Yeah. Poor taste. Ha ha, homophobic joke. Well, the guy who said ha ha homophobic joke also called you a retard. So apparently,
I did block his post, so I can't say anything anymore. I was like, this is something. It doesn't offend me, but like, I don't know. It's just something I should block. It's not good material.
I responded to him, letting him know, like, you're not okay with homophobic jokes, but you're okay with mentally handicapped ones. Like, pick a lane here, man. But yeah, Joe's famous now, so pretty soon he's gonna move on.
Gained 2 followers, I believe. So
he's gonna have his own podcast. Leave me behind.
No,
my most recent big tweet only had 800 likes. So I mean,
I didn't expect that. It's my first big treat. I was sweating. Big tweet.
I know, you didn't drop the pod. Oh, this is blowing up. By the way, check out my podcast.
I still can, man. I'm still getting 100 likes. 100 likes. every 2 hours.
People are like, oh, in order for a podcast to succeed, you got to bring on guests, famous guests help. We don't need to because we have a famous co-host every single episode. Just
no, we've been posting a lot more this week. I've been bedridden the last 3 days or 2 days, so.
And a lot of my posts are on YouTube, not Twitter. I comment a lot on YouTube. I don't know how to gain followers on Twitter, even on the tweets that blow up. I just gotta hope the consistency is what does it. We had a couple movie trailers to go over, and then we have a fan requested segment. First one, Chris Evans, Buzz Lightyear.
All right, give me your best To Infinity and Beyond. I'll go first. To Infinity and Beyond.
To Infinity and Beyond.
That's just better than me.
No, it was. I had you to bounce off of because your Beyond is how I knew I wanted to carry the sound a little more. It has to hold it, like you're going somewhere. It looks good. It was the first trailer, the first time we saw Zurg.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see it in the teaser, so we got to see it.
He didn't really get anything in the trailer. He didn't even get the tagline.
But he calls Zurg a giant robot. We find out that like the premise of the movie is basically him stopping some sort of invasion. And he's a researcher. I think I mentioned this last time when like the teaser came out. I wish it was more like the show. I loved the Lightyear cartoon that only happened for like a season or two. I thought that was
can't recall. Good. I don't think
it wasn't very popular. That's why it only lasted like a season or two. It was honestly like really good. It was a kid's show, so it was episodic. So every episode had a primary villain or issue that they solved by the end of the episode, with occasionally one or two, some of them going a couple episodes.
Like
Zurg was always the overarching like one you have to worry about. His partner or like the person, his rival that was also part of the Lightyear program was an alien, a female alien, and she was super badass. Like she was really cool, and like they have like a training program, and he was like, Buzz is super over cocky, like confident, and she was doing her training program, and then he goes, and the head guy, the director, goes, upgrade to level 9, and then Buzz is like, level 9? Come on, level 9, that's where I train, as he's like drinking his coffee. And then she beats level 9, like she beats it. He's like, Buzz is like, whoa, because being an alien, she has some powers. Like one of the things is she can like phase through things. And then the director's like, level 10. Buzz has never been able to do level 10, and then she beats level 10 as well, and then they stop the training. Buzz is like, oh my god. But like, so Buzz still thinks, then he's like mad because she beat him and trained, and like all this stuff. And then the whole thing is him thinking he can teach her things and never thinking she can do what he can do. So they have their own dynamic. It was really good. So I wanted it to be more like that.
Common male persona.
Very common, like Tim Allen for sure probably thinks he can do anything a woman can do.
Well, he's the tool man.
He's definitely a tool for sure. But yeah, I wanted it more like that. But I'm interested to see the show the movie because it actually looks very good. Most kids loved Buzz. I was a Woody guy. I'm just a huge Wood fan.
Yeah.
If anybody didn't see it, go check it out. It looks good. Another trailer that came out was Jurassic World Dominion, the epic conclusion to the Jurassic World trilogy.
I never saw the fifth one because when all the dinosaurs fell off the cliff, I got sad.
So you never saw it because of that?
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's really good. Well, yeah, I know it's good, but it's sad. Like it's
sad.
Yeah.
But the whole premise is they bring the dinosaurs to Earth. They're selling them to really rich people. The fifth one, like a big part of it is they're selling dinosaurs on like the black market to rich people. Carnivores, obviously, like the carnivores are huge. Like they're selling 30 million. Like they're selling them for absurd amounts. I would say that's cheap for owning a dinosaur as well. But then obviously Owen, they all hear about this and they try to stop it, and it ends with the dinosaurs getting out into the world, which is why it's Dominion, because apparently if you haven't seen the trailer, there's clearly a time jump, and humanity is currently trying to find a way to either exterminate or live with dinosaurs, because now they exist in the world with everyone, which is why it's Jurassic World and it's Dominion, because who's gonna take Dominion? Based on the trailer, Chris Pratt still wants Blue to survive. Blue has a baby now as well. But yeah, clearly they're trying to help the raptor survive, and people are like, she can't survive. Humans can't live with dinosaurs. There's a shot of like the the water ones and the flying ones. The ocean and the flying ones are the ones that's like, those already aren't humans' dominions. Those are the scariest ones to me.
Yeah, that water one was huge.
Yeah. And then the pteranodons and the pterodactyls are gigantic. Oh. And like there's a part in the trailer where the pterodon or pterodactyl takes down a plane. So it's like these things are huge in the sky and we're not protected because their talons are as sharp as our metal.
Vibranium talons.
I'm interested to see where they go with it. The ending of this movie. If you imagined the ending of Jurassic World, what do you think would be the last scene?
Something with a T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's always a T-Rex.
So my thought, I asked my wife, how are they going to do that? And like scream, the tortoises having sex, Tyrannosaurus Rex scream, if they make all the dinosaurs extinct. So
gonna have to be Chris Pratt and Jeff Goldblum.
They're gonna have to pound each other like tortoises. Based on the trailer, it also seems like Bryce Dallas Howard.
There's not a rumor, I guess, but like a fan casting that she would play. She'd be a great Elsa Bloodstone.
Absolutely, she would. If she doesn't really have an accent, but oh my gosh, I'm a big fan of her. So I could see that she has the right. She looks like Elsa. If you were trying to go like based on somebody that looks like the comics, which is what fan castings usually are, she would be good. But based on the trailer, it seems like it's going to be more focused on Chris Pratt, and she's kind of going to like stick at home. Sure. It seems, because she says make sure to come home. To me, that tells me she's like sending him off, and she's going to be more of like when he calls in an emergency. That's where her character comes in.
The man behind the desk.
That seems like her character this time around. Seems like it's going to be heavily based on the relationship between he and Blue, is what I would take.
Sure.
But I want to see, are they going to make all the dinosaurs extinct, or is he going to have like a dinosaur farm? Like what's going to happen? I don't know how they're going to end it, which brings a lot of intrigue. We'll see where it goes. You should definitely watch that fifth one, though, man. It's really good. Justice Smith is hysterical. I own it on DVD if you need to borrow it.
Sure.
But Justice Smith is hysterical. But we're talking about movies. Before we get into our final segment of request from a viewer, we'll talk about Tom Holland wants to make a Jack and Daxter movie, and he would like to play the lead.
I've never really played those games.
It wasn't my thing, because Ratchet and Clank seemed what Jack and Daxter wanted to do, but better. So like we've had a versus in like the last 2 or 3 podcasts, like Cheez-Its versus Goldfish,
right?
Girl Scout cookies versus other Girl Scout cookies. You know, we've had those. Jack and Daxter versus Ratchet and Clank. It doesn't even seem like a fair fight.
It's not even close. No, you're right.
Jack and Daxter was best for teenagers, while Ratchet and Clank was good for kids. Teenagers, like it was good for a wider range of audience,
young adults,
and it was early enough. Like it wasn't this Jack and Daxter. I don't know when it came out, 2001. So it's basically almost the 90s, where it was still kind of weird for teenagers to be playing video games too late into their years. Yeah, it was. I mean, I remember playing it all the way through. It was not a bad game. It's just I had more fun with Ratchet and Clank. Platform beat 'em up adventure shooter game. Like that sounds exactly what a lot of people love right now. They made 3 of them. There were 3 of the games. They were good games. I think he'd be able to play, and it'd be interesting to see Jack is lanky. He's not super muscly. And Tom Holland's really muscular, built kind of like a gymnast, where he has like big shoulder muscles, big traps.
Or if you just animate it, or if you'd actually do it.
He wants to do a live action, it sounds like Uncharted. And then he'd probably have CGI as Daxter.
Yeah, but Ratchet and Clank was also published by Sony.
Right, and
so why wouldn't they do that?
Because Jack and Daxter's more for older people, so it would probably make a better movie than Ratchet and Clank.
I don't know. I think Ratchet and Clank would be better.
I think Ratchet and Clank, you could make a whole series of movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm all for doing a Jack and Daxter movie. Also, side note, congratulations to he and Zendaya buying a house together. But
nice. And Uncharted's coming out soon.
Coming out. He wants to take a quick break, like a lot of actors seem to be wanting to do. But
February 18th.
It's all right around the corner, man. Yeah, I think he could do it. I would see it, and I would rather see a Ratchet and Clank movie.
Yeah. So would
I. The last thing.
You have anybody voice Clank, like anybody. It'd be hilarious.
You just want somebody to have, I don't know.
Do stuff with their voice, like crazy things with their voice.
Yeah. Probably somebody
him and Chris Pratt have done things together. Jack Black. I don't know. You could.
Jack Black could do it. I don't know. They would find the right person. Well, thinking off the top of your head, you only ever think about the biggest names. When a lot of the time roles like that, the B-list, C-list guys, girls make the best. Last thing, fan requested topic. We had somebody ask us to cover Pirates of the Caribbean 6 because apparently there have been a lot of news stories and rumors about it. Full disclosure, big fan of the series, just don't follow it super closely. So all of this stuff, all of this information.
I didn't even know it. I've seen them all. I just didn't even know they were planning on a 6th one.
I didn't know they were planning on it. I knew that there was potential that they were planning on it. I just didn't know that they were actually. I thought with the whole Johnny Depp thing, with Will Smith, with Orlando Bloom not really being interested, Keira Knightley not being interested, I didn't think they were ever going to do another one. But I mean, it makes a ton of money, so I understand wanting to do another one. So all this information that I found was all research over the past week or so since we were asked. First thing is that there is a spin-off planned beyond this movie. So with the 6th movie, they plan on bringing in Margot Robbie, and they plan on having her get a spin-off afterwards where she becomes the new lead of the series. Okay. So instead of Johnny Depp, it's now Margot Robbie.
I mean, if she wants to play a crazy pirate, that's definitely a role she can fill. The crazy pirate. Like, that's
the question I have is that apparently. So they hired on the original writers for Pirates of the Caribbean 6 were the writers of Deadpool. They voluntarily quit. They were not asked to leave. There was no issues. They just didn't want to do it anymore. So they quit, which tells me that the direction that they're going is not necessarily where the writers of Deadpool would go, which I like what the Deadpool writers did. And I feel like I would have rather seen what they wanted to do. And then the writers that replaced them are the writers of Birds of Prey. And
which
Birds of Prey was not good.
I think Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is really good in certain situations. But I also think there's certain situations where it's just too much.
I'd rather have her be a supporting character.
Yeah, but I mean, like her
shows.
Her Harley Quinn is not bad. It's just sometimes it's too much. And there's the one scene in Birds of Prey, which I love, where she's like hiding from the cops, and then she's hiding behind this giant bundle of cocaine, and they're like shooting at her behind the bundle, and the like pops holes through the cocaine, and then she sniffs it. She's like, "Oh yeah," and then she just beats the shit out of everyone. And I was like, that is prime like
Harley Quinn.
Prime movie right there. Like that is very fun to watch. But then like the whole thing where it's fan four stick. It's like we're all enemies. Oh, we're friends.
Yeah.
We win like
over quickly, quick resolution, no burn at all.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is like you hire on a pirate them for the pirates. It's I mentioned it in an earlier segment. Disney is clearly trying to push a female led. They want to move forward with a lot of female leads. They want to move forward with a female cast. They want, if we can gender swap to female, we're going to. If we can pick somebody, if we can focus, if there's a character like Madam Web that is kind of obscure that we can move forward and make popular, we're going to do that. I know that's not Disney, but I think that's where Disney and Marvel
it's still a Marvel
to go.
Product. They're still going to have, like, Feige most likely will have some input,
which means Disney gets say,
right?
And I think Disney, here took on the Birds of Prey writer probably because they got along with Margot Robbie, and if they really want to move forward with Margot Robbie, that's what they want to do.
Poach it from Warner Brothers too. So
yeah, sounds like the character Red would be I don't know if that's who she would play. So Red is somebody who's been mentioned, like people thought Red was somebody from Tortuga, was one of the women from Tortuga.
Just a fun little fact, I used to play World of Warcraft with someone named Tater. His dad would also play with us, and his dad's character names were all pirates, and his main character was Anne Bonny.
Yeah, Anne Bonny was one of the the most popular female pirate. So it would be the most likely bringing them in. That's interesting. Anyway, that's the spin-off. Pirates of the Caribbean 6, though, Kaya Scodelario and Margot would be the future of the franchise. Kaya is Barbossa's daughter, so she plays Barbossa's daughter in the 5th one.
Is that who's Barbossa?
Barbossa is the dude with the beard that came back from the dead.
Oh, okay, yeah, Barbossa
from the first movie, and then he sacrificed himself in the 5th movie to save her and the Turner boy.
Yeah, the Turner. That's Bill, Bootstrap Bill.
Another big thing about this movie is apparently it's going to be a soft reboot. I can't remember what it was compared to, but potentially it was a Bumblebee. Similar, it was compared to Bumblebee. They're kind of soft rebooting the entire franchise to start the next set. I don't know if that means if they're planning this because Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley aren't interested, or if because something major is going to happen, so then they will get like a time jump. Or
well, didn't they? I believe they were in the fifth one.
Yes,
like they came back for the little like they're living happily ever after.
They came back because the premise was their son killing or breaking Poseidon's pitchfork or trident.
Yeah,
and that which shatters all ocean-based curses, making Will able to leave the Dutchman and go on Earth and live happily ever after. The potential reboot would just be forgetting everything that's happened would be the goal. And I don't know if that's because Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley aren't interested. They were recently asked if they would do a sixth one, and they both said no. The note I put down is they said they weren't interested at all.
Yeah, I mean, they did their send-off. Like, why would they? I don't know why they would.
Well, the end of the fifth one, Will has nightmares, and when he wakes up, he sees Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Insinuating that Davy Jones isn't dead and that he's back to life. So people thought that Will Turner and like they would come back because it would be a Davy Jones based, but now it's not even confirmed that Davy Jones is going to be back, which I feel like why they want to do this soft reboot is because of all that. Oh, if Davy Jones isn't coming back now and Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, and they still don't want to hire Johnny Depp back, which that'll be the last thing we talk about here. Like maybe that's why I want to do the soft reboot, but Johnny Depp was originally going to be signed on to do it, and they were going to do like a passing the torch to Margot Robbie, but then with his Amber Heard deal, Disney doesn't want to work with Johnny Depp in the future at all. Yeah, your little shaking of your head, I agree 100%. The internet's on Johnny Depp's side. There's it's not Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp when he's available there.
Yep.
Some people were saying they could bring him on for a side role, like maybe they kill him off, and I was like, either bring him on to have him be the lead, or don't bring him on at all and have this be a genuine Margot Robbie shows up. And if the movie flops without Johnny Depp, you know that they don't want to see you move forward with Margot Robbie and Kaya.
Well, they would want a passing of the torch. That's what they'd want. They'd want a conclusion to a story to start a new story. Like
exactly.
Like,
and
they
just
don't just
mentioning it in exposition and saying, and Jack, we remember Jack. Like, just mentioning that's not good enough.
No, it's not. It's just a negligence, I guess, to like not do it for the fan. Like, you have money. Like, you've got money. Like, you can pay Johnny Depp whatever you want. You can get him there. But it's not even that. It's that, like, you don't want to do it because of the Amber Heard thing, with everything that we found out there, yes, Johnny Depp isn't 100% innocent, but if anything, he's more of a victim. Yeah.
So Disney wants to move forward with female empowerment. So they don't want to hire anybody that potentially could be taken as anti-female. So in their eyes, I think Johnny Depp is anti-female. So in their eyes, they don't want to hire him.
He's just anti-Amber Heard, much like everyone else.
Right. So
except Warner Brothers.
Which we all know Warner Brothers makes the best decisions. Overall, I'm not sure, like with all the stuff that we've been hearing about, it sounds like they've canceled almost everything that they've done already, and that they're just kind of starting from scratch for like a second or third time here. Whenever movies do that, from what I've learned from the research, they haven't even begun really writing the new script. Earliest sets of filming wouldn't begin until 2023. So even if we get this movie,
it's usually about a year. Yep, or like a year.
Said, like at best, you'd get this movie by 2026. Is that a long enough time for people to forget and not care if Johnny Depp's not in it?
I mean, the sooner, like in my opinion, the sooner you get Johnny Depp, the sooner you can start that writing process. Mm-hmm. You could get it out by late 2024, possibly.
If you rushed.
You could.
Yeah.
If you could. Early 2025, you could do that.
Well, and most of their filming is done. Every movie has been filmed majority in Jamaica, so I'm not sure about travel restrictions.
Sure.
So that's another big thing, because Johnny Depp would probably have to come from UK. I'm pretty sure he lives primarily in the UK.
But I'm 100%. If they want to transfer it over to Margot Robbie, I'm okay with that. I think she could play the weird, crazy pirate person flawlessly.
I would be interested to see the villains, because if they really went with female villains as well, I would want to see Anne Bonny and Mary Red, like 100%.
Right.
That's who I've mentioned this.
Well, other ones
multiple
haven't
times.
they done? I guess that's
because they've done Blackbeard. That was Jack's dad.
Yeah, Blackbeard, Davy Jones. They've had the Kraken. I don't know.
They
They've
had
done
Poseidon.
a lot of.
They had Calypso.
So
they've done a lot of them. They've done a lot of the sea base. They could. I mean, you don't want to do Peter Pan and Hook. Like, you don't really want to do that,
right?
Sir Francis Drake, Sam Bellamy, Captain Kidd, Calico Jack. I'm sure Calico Jack is probably who Jack's based off of. Bartholomew Roberts.
Because his name was Dirk Shivers, and it looked like Dick Shivers.
And I think a couple of these are that like round table of pirates that was in like the third movie. I think that's who a lot of, like, Zenji Sao is a very famous pirate, and I'm pretty sure there was a guy part of that round table who that was based off of. So it'd be, yeah, I'm not sure where else they would go. I would assume
Captain Morgan, dude.
I know, Henry Morgan. I think they'd want to go in that direction of like some of those famous pirates, but I would assume at max they'd get one more trilogy out of it before it was over milked.
Yeah, can do Captain Morgan.
I would be fine if they didn't do another one. It just depends. Multiple resets before you even get started is not a good sign. Like, it's different when you've shot a few scenes, or like you've shot half the movie and have to do some reshoots. That's a lot.
You shot a whole series and you have to do reshoots, which pushes us back about a year.
All right, but having to restart before you even get started twice already means you don't know where you want to go.
Yeah.
Which means you don't have a vision, and without that vision, that means you don't know what you want for sequels. Right. And if you want to make sequels but you don't have the sequels in mind when making the original and the sequels are all going to be bad. That's just my opinion. That's from experience, from like what I've seen. This was requested, so like I didn't have a ton of knowledge about this, but I wouldn't necessarily say that doing all this research brought my hopes up for this movie. However, I like the series a lot. I'm all for seeing what else they can do with it. And the action scenes, the fight scenes are some of the best cinematography that you can see. The score is always really good. Graphics, like the visual effects, are always really good. It's just usually Johnny Depp kills it, so it's hard to imagine him without it. Or the movie without him.
So Bumblebee was actually received well. It's of Transformers 4, the first one after Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg was a set. Like, I'm using Rotten Tomatoes because it's the only thing you can look up ever. 17%.
Yeah, and
it was a 50% audience score.
I like the Transformers movie. It's like Power Rangers, but better. Anyway, that was the fan request segment. Hope you enjoyed that. That'll actually be it for this episode. So we will catch you all next week. And if you do like sports, check out our sports section. Super Bowl's around the corner, so we have had some really entertaining topics. Let us know if you have any suggestions like this. We would love to cover more. So you all look great today. GG.
GG.